The CPI data came in as expected, and it removes inflation as an obstacle for the Fed to begin a rate cut cycle starting in September, but it also makes a 50 basis point cut less likely as well. Inflation has slowed to 2.9% on an annual basis after the July numbers have been released. Now, these are the lowest numbers since March of 2021. So, the CPI information is out, the retail sales numbers and other information has been released. So, let's deep dive into this. Now, before we get started, let me just say that if you like content like this, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this and hit that thumbs up button for me. Inflation in July grew as expected. For the month of July, the numbers came in at 0.2%, and on an annual basis, it would average out to about 2.9%, which is closer and closer to that Fed target of 2%. Now, economists and other people predicted the 0.2% for the month, so that was spot on, and some thought that on an annual basis, it would average out to about 3%, so coming in at 2.9%, right in line, right there with all the numbers, with all the estimates. Again, closer and closer to that 2% target that the Fed likes. Housing or shelter, the cost of housing was responsible for the majority of that growth. Food numbers, they kind of came in all over the place. Some items increased quite a bit, price of eggs and things, while other numbers kind of went down. The price of cars has been going down recently, and that trend continued in the month of July. The CPI data came in as expected, and it removes inflation as an obstacle for the Fed to begin a rate cut cycle starting in September, but it also makes a 50 basis point cut less likely as well. Now, some things that also came in that were very welcoming were the advanced retail sale numbers, or the sale numbers. They came in at 1% for the month of July. Now, it was expected for retail sales to go up by 0.3%. So in July, it kind of blew past what the estimates were. And just for reference, in the month of June, retail sales actually declined by 0.2%, and it was trending in a negative area. And I've read, in the month after the month of June, some people were saying, these are signs of a recession and spending is slowing down. This means that rate cuts need to be more aggressive, and all different type of comments, and fair comments to make when you see sale numbers going in a negative direction. It was expected for it to grow in July 0.3%. So when the numbers came in at 1%, very welcoming numbers. The stock market took it very well. As this data was released, the stock market started shooting up, and obviously a good time on Wall Street. Consumer spending is kind of like the backbone of the American economy. For America to be healthy and doing well, you need people spending their dollars. And historically, especially compared to other places, America does a very good job. They have a very good consumer base that does like to spend money. They buy and buy. They're always getting new things. You have more wealthy people and a solid middle class, and those numbers go up, they change, but July numbers very well. And you need people to spend money. When people aren't spending money, it puts a strain on businesses, and if businesses aren't making as much money, they might start to let people go if they can't afford payroll. And these type of things can spiral. Spending, especially consumer spending at big retail stores, it's a very important thing for the American economy, for it to be healthy and for it to keep going. July numbers, fantastic for that. And it's interesting to note that some big retailers have kind of been saying the exact opposite. The numbers kind of, for example, Home Depot recently said when they had their earnings and numbers were down, people are putting off remodeling projects. People are spending less on their houses. They're spending less at our stores. Other retailers have said similar comments. Consumers are spending more carefully and thoughtfully. They're not splurging as much. I've heard somebody say the only place that people are shopping is Walmart, Amazon, and Costco. People are looking for value, things that they could get at a discount. And, there's been quite a few CEOs, major retailers, business people that have made those type of comments about consumers. But the retail numbers for July, they tell us a different story. If you like content like this, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this and hit that thumbs up button for me.